Making the decision to move into a tiny house can be a really big step. Making that decision with children can add a whole new dimension. And today we're about to meet a lovely couple who have built an absolutely stunning tiny house on wheels for their family. Hey Ruby, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Great to meet you. G'day Brad, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. How about you?
Very well, thank you. And I am extremely excited to see this beautiful home of yours.
Thank you.
So, first of all, what was it that inspired the move into a tiny house?
Really, the Auckland market being so expensive, it's a good way to kind of take it step by step and not have to fork up $1 million straight away.
And the area we're in at the moment as well, family-wise, we just did not want to move away from here. So this was the next best step.
Yeah, this is a great area. I see you've even got the park and everything across the road. And of course you are a tiny house family. There's 4 of you living in here, right?
Yes, we've got our big 9-year-old and our 1.5-year-old.
Wow. And also a big Rottweiler.
So what was it like moving into a tiny house like this with 2 children as well?
It was a scary thought at first, but I can't imagine being in a bigger home now, being so close together all the time. It's awesome.
And Brad, you're a draftsman as well, so for you this was also an opportunity for you to design and build your own home.
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool opportunity. I got to design everything the way I wanted and ended up fitting out everything on the inside ourselves as well. So it's a good opportunity and experience.
Yeah, and how about you, Ruby? Did you get on the tools with this house as well?
No, not at first, but when it came to the interior, yes, definitely, especially with kids-wise, because I'm an early childhood teacher as well, so everything inside had to be child-proof. So that was my job.
And I really do like the way that with this house you can see that you have focused on the children as well. I see you've even built them a nice playground around the back.
Definitely. So being a tiny house, especially with kids, they need the outdoor area as well. Even though we've got the park across the road, I wanted a space where they could feel a bit more open as well, especially in winter.
Yeah, fair enough too. And can you tell me about the design of the tiny house?
Yeah, so we've got the vinyl cladding. It was basically a box version. I kind of went with the interior design being the main focus rather than looks on the outside, but it's functional, and so that was the main kind of purpose of it anyway.
And what size is the tiny house?
So it's 9 metres by 2.4 metres on the base level, whereas we've got the extra half a metre up the top for our bedroom, so it's 9.5 up the top there.
And was it easy for you to find this parking space?
So yeah, we were pretty lucky actually. This is my mum's land, so we've got her house up here, and it's kind of a temporary solution while we look for a section, but there's no real rush for that. It's kind of, if we see something, we see something.
Fantastic. Well, I really love what you've done with this house on the exterior. I think the parking spot is amazing. Having the park just over there for a young family is a dream, and I cannot wait to see what you've done on the inside of this home. Can we check it out?
Awesome, sounds good.
Thank you very much. Oh, now this is just lovely. You can really see that a lot of thought and effort has gone into the design and layout of this house, and I especially like this catwalk feature that you've built in here.
Yeah, chairs is a good option. Just most tiny homes having the ladder to get upstairs. It's just one for the kids and especially the dog to get across. So
He's 50 kgs.
That is a big dog.
Yeah.
And so immediately upon entering this home now, we're in your lounge space, and this does look like a very unusual lounge layout, especially with the TV here and the couch here. Can you tell me a little bit about how all this works?
So originally we had 2 big recliners here, and it was kind of sectioned off so that this was the lounge area, this was the kitchen area. But then as baby grew, we needed more space, so it's been a trial and error really. So I've changed this lounge space many times. So we got rid of the recliners, a smaller couch, and basically just space to run back and forth and learn how to walk.
Right.
But we actually have a big beanbag as well that we put into storage and out of when it's needed. And the boys mainly lax back on that, and then me and baby have the couch. So it's really comfortable.
Great. Beanbags are just such great, versatile tiny house furniture.
For sure.
Because your little one is how old now?
He's 1.5 now.
And how would you say that it is now having a toddler in a tiny house? How's that actually working out for you?
It's definitely been a journey, child-proofing everything really, especially with the stairs. He's just learnt that he can climb them, so that's the next process, and especially because everything is actually accessible to him. So basically we've got buckets of safety locks everywhere to replace them when he learns how to break them, and yeah.
And your oldest son, he's 9 now, is that right?
Yeah.
And how's he adapting to life in the tiny house? Because that must have been a really big change for him.
It was a really big change for him, but he's a mummy's boy through and through. So he's actually really loving the tiny house because he's close to me all the time and he knows where I am all the time and he loves it. He really does, yeah.
All you need is a PlayStation.
Yeah, and he's happy. He likes his little hideaway up there. He likes to think of it as like a tree house because we're amongst the trees. So.
Very true. And you're so right. All you need is a PlayStation. It's true when you're 9 and it's true when you're 30. So.
Yeah, no, I've still got one myself.
And then over here we have your kitchen. And tell me about what's going on over here.
So yeah, we got the full kitchen, got dishwasher even. We've got all the appliances and enough space to use everything. We've got a full standing oven with a range hood and everything, and it works out perfectly. It's just like being in a normal house.
That was my one compromise. I wanted a full kitchen. So that's what I got.
Very good. I really do like the way that this is done because I think the stainless steel bench with the appliances actually just gives the kitchen a very modern edge.
Yeah, it just makes it pop a little bit, something a bit different. I mean, we've got a stainless going into wood and it just makes it stand out.
Yeah. The timber art feature here at the end of the bench is really nice too.
Yeah, chairs is a little present from my dad as well. It's art feature / support for the catwalk.
And I can see that both here in the kitchen and across in the stairwell there, you have built in a lot of storage. And obviously, as a family of 4 in here, storage must be very important.
Yes, I built the stairs myself actually and did all the varnishing and everything. And that was kind of the key priority to the stairs was have cubby holes. And I mean, at the end of it, the only compromise we really had to have was placing our clothes in the baby's bedroom. Everything else worked perfectly.
Right. So this is baby's room behind us now, is it?
Sure is.
Nursery / wardrobe.
Very cool. Can we take a peek in there?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, this is very cute. Can you tell me a little bit about how this room has changed and adapted to work with having a baby?
So the room has changed around quite a lot. We've had change tables in here and all sorts. The one thing that's always stayed in here is his cot, but we kind of integrated our wardrobe in here just to make things work, as I said. The one real good thing about it was designed to be a man cave, and so I put some acoustic insulation in here and worked out pretty well having a baby.
What a good idea. So you've got sort of a super soundproof nursery here in this tiny house.
Yep. So yeah, it's pretty good for being on the roadside for him to be able to sleep and kind of keeps things quiet for the rest of the house as well. It's kind of that block.
What a good idea. And then down the other end we have your bathroom. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, thanks. I like how you've got the towels on the back of the door here.
It's a good space saver.
Definitely is. And tell me about the design of your bathroom here.
So yeah, we've got the full bathroom with vanity, 9x9 shower, so it's actually bigger than quite a few houses. And we've got a laundry tucked in the corner here with obviously your toilet and things, and that's all plumbed in.
Yeah, flushing toilet even. Definitely a tiny house luxury.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, a must with a family.
Yeah.
Especially with the young ones.
I definitely understand that. You don't want to have to add sawdust everywhere to the mix, do you?
Exactly. It's more mess to think about.
Exactly. And so can we check out the upstairs?
Absolutely.
All right. All right, after you. It's very easy access into this loft, isn't it?
Yeah, so we went with the lowered floor here, which was that bulkhead down in the bathroom. So obviously it makes no difference in the bathroom, but gives us just that extra bit of height as we get in the entry here.
And either your son is the most minimalist 9-year-old in the world, or I'm guessing this has got to be your side of the loft.
Yeah, so pretty much just for sleeping. As you can see, it's just a bed in here. There's occasionally a dog bed at the end there, but it's just for sleeping up here.
I really like the skylight above the bed. That's obviously always a really nice feature to have.
Yeah, so that was actually a must for me. I wanted the views, and two, it serves as purging the heat out. So during the summer, it's, open those up, and it works really well with keeping it cool in here.
Yeah, it definitely is good to have those access points just for maintenance and all that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, especially being out here in the bush, we get quite a few leaves up there, and so it's a common thing.
And then we access the second loft via the catwalk, right?
Yep, and so that's Caden's room.
Cool, let's check that out.
And you do literally have to crawl across.
But this must be such a fun and adventurous way for your 9-year-old. I bet he absolutely loves this. Oh, this is really cool. This is like a neat little den, isn't it, up here?
Yeah, it's definitely his little cave.
That's why he refers to it as his tree house.
He's got his own skylight here as well?
Yeah, so as I said, it was a must for having the skylights. I mean, the main purpose is for purging the heat out, and with him hanging out up here all day, it's kind of perfect, really. Keeps it nice and cool.
And he's even got his own TV up here.
Yeah, so it's definitely the peacekeeper of the house. It keeps him occupied, and he gets stuck into his PlayStation.
Yeah, definitely a nice addition there for him. And I can see he's even strung up some fairy lights in here too.
Oh, it just looks awesome in here at night time, and he's got glow-in-the-dark lights as well, not that you can really see. And yeah, it's just, I wanted to make it as comfortable up here in his own space as much as possible.
Yeah, this must be a very special place for him. I bet he's very proud of it. And so how long have you been living in the tiny house now?
So it's been just over a year now.
And there's a lot of people out there who are potentially contemplating living in a tiny house and wanting to start families in tiny homes. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it's really like living in a tiny house with young children?
Honestly, it's like we all have our own space. I mean, you wouldn't think you're in a tiny home. It's 3-bedroom, and it's kind of separated.
Yeah, so in that respect, it really does just come down to thinking things through well and making sure that you're designing well for children in the space.
That is the main thing. I mean, space is key, really. It's storage is your number one priority.
Yeah.
Especially with kids, optimal storage, as much as you can possibly fit in. I'm very minimal, but children are not.
And so that's another whole dimension to this, because you were pregnant while you both were fitting out the interior of this tiny house. So you were getting ready to have a baby and building your own tiny home at the same time. What was that like?
So I probably wouldn't go as far as saying we were both fitting it out, but I was definitely doing some work. So I got some family and friends to come and help me. It was a very interesting time. I mean, I got a call. I had 48 hours to get this tiny home before we went into level 4 lockdown. It was chaotic. We couldn't get to any of the stores. We put out a little message, and I collected all the paint from all the neighbours around, so there's no way of replicating this paint colour. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge. And then it came the first day of level 3, and he was born, and I was trying to work from home, and so it was pretty intense.
It was an experience for sure. One that I don't regret at all. It's awesome.
Yeah. And can you tell me about the cost that was involved in building this home?
Yeah, so I mean, the main cost of the shell and things like that was the main hit, and that was a bit over 100,000. And then the next step from there was really, we kind of went all out and got everything brand new, down to a new bed and everything. So that added another 20,000 or so.
Great. So you're about 120 all up now in this house?
Around 130 probably is more like it. It definitely gives it a lot more meaning when it's for yourself. It's something that you put your own personal time into, and you think about the details that you wouldn't normally think about. I know down to the nuts and bolts that are in this house. I mean, you know, any detail I can pick out, and I've drawn that and I've designed it. And so it's really good being able to consider the things like, oh, hey, we'll probably need to do this, so I'll design for that, and actually having that freedom, I guess, to meet our needs.
It's all very sentimental as well. I mean, our children are growing up here. We're making our family memories here. My youngest took his first steps in this home. These are things we are never going to forget, and hopefully my children never will either. This is our family home.
And so what's next for you both?
So really the next step is to, as I've said, eventually find a section and take things as they come.
Fantastic. Well, I think you've both done such an amazing job with this home. It's so great to see the way that you've really made this tiny space work for a growing family, and I am very excited to one day see this on your very own section. Thank you both so much for sharing your wonderful home with me.
Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. What I really love about this tiny house is that sitting here right now, you can really feel that it's a family home. This is a place where a family is making memories together, where children are growing up. And you can really tell that both Brad and Ruby have done everything they can to make this a really special place for their family. This really is a wonderful home. I want to say a huge thank you to Redecor for sponsoring this video and helping to make what we do possible. Redecor can be downloaded for free now on both iOS and Android by following the link in the description of this video. Redecor is a really fun mobile game that lets you really flex your creative muscles, especially if you're in the middle of a design project at the moment. It really allows you to experiment with texture and color in space, and it can really help to just get those creative ideas flowing. There's even a special challenge now live where you get to decorate the Oval Office. One of the things that I love about this game is that each level is also a competition where your designs are put against 10 other players and ranked in order based on each other's voting. That gives it a really fun competitive edge, and it lets you pitch your design ideas up against the world. So if you're looking for a fun and easy game that lets you hone your home decor skills, this is a great option. Remember, you can download it now for free using the link in the description of this video.